Hi, I'm Greg Kurzner.
I'm Patrick Dees.
And we're with the Kurzner Group at ERA Atlantic Realty. And today in this video, we are going to cover 5 of the most frequent questions that we get from home sellers when we are talking to them about selling their home. So the biggest question that I think starts off that we get almost all the time is, when is it the best time to sell your home?
Typically what we see is spring and summer, the good times to sell a home. It usually follows the school season.
Right? We find that sometimes during the summer is when most people want to move because there's not a disruption during the school year. But I also think that it somewhat depends upon your life situation, because you have to move at certain times and it may not be ideal, but with regard to the market that we're in currently, there really isn't a bad time, right? And
Correct.
Unless you're only selling and not buying again, if your concern is, well, the market's not real good right now, or the market's so hot right now, you may do better selling your home, but you're going to have to pay more for the home you purchase. Or if the market's not real good, you might not be able to sell it for as much as you could have last year, but you may be able to buy a home that you're wanting to move into for less than it was worth last year as well. So it just depends, but generally when you want to sell your home is the best time to sell, right?
Yeah.
Right. The next question I think we get a lot is, how much should I ask for my home? And that's a little two-part in that obviously we want to give you a value range that you're going to be successful selling in. But from there, how much more, maybe over what you think you'll sell it for, should you price it at? How much for negotiation in the market? So a lot of that changes depending on where we are. But what would you suggest?
Well, first start off by getting a CMA, which we do here all the
And
time.
a CMA, for those who don't know what that means, is what?
Comparative market analysis.
Comparative market analysis. Okay. So you get that, and the Kurzner Group, we provide a professional.
We do. Ultimately, we'd like to come out to the home to give you the best market value for it,
Right.
to see all the details of your home that you're trying to sell. But we can do it from here as well.
Right. We can come up with a range of value based on just the numbers. We can look at the tax records and comparable sales to your home, and that'll give us a pretty solid range. But like you said, in order to really dial it in, we need to see the home, because there may be things about the home that aren't evident based on just looking at the numbers or the information online. If you've done improvements, if your home has certain special features that aren't visible, those are things that we need to take into account so that we know how to best price the home as it compares to others in the market, right?
Correct.
So on top of when to sell and how much should I price my home for, we get a lot of questions about, what do I need to do to get my home ready for sale? And I know you can talk a lot on this. I'm only going to say that I think it's better to take the time to get the home ready than to try to get it ready while you have it on the market, because you're rarely going to be able to make a best second impression.
Correct.
Your first impression is the one that's going to catch the most buyers, and so you really want your home ready if you can have it ready before you have to put it on the market, right?
And always include curb appeal on that too. I think that's one of the biggest things that people miss. People don't get the chance to see the front of the home, their new home, a second time. So inside cleaning up is definitely you want to do, and tuck away things and declutter. But curb appeal is also something that we advise you to pay close attention to.
It is, because it's the first impression, and we always say that if they don't like what the house looks like on the outside, they're not going to go into the inside. So you have to get them at the front door. Okay, so the fourth question that we get a lot is, how should I respond to lowball offensive offers? And in markets like we're in, even in a hot market like we're in right now, it is frequent where we'll get offers on our clients' properties that are what the client would consider to be offensively low, or I don't even respond to that. Who do they think they are? Why are they offering so low? My house is worth so much more. And they really get very defensive about it, right?
Yeah.
Because your home is, you're proud of your home, and you have a feel for what it's worth. And, when somebody doesn't offer you what you think is even a reasonable range you're going to react a little defensively, right?
It's easily to get offended with a lowball offer, but that's what you hire an agent for is let us negotiate. Negotiation is a process. We want to respond to every single offer and see the capabilities of that offer.
And I always say it's not where we start, but it's where we finish, right? So there are cases where a buyer will come in with a low offer, and when we negotiate that and have communications back and forth with their agent, we can often get that buyer to the offer that my client's willing to accept, and it works that way out in the wash. So while it is an emotional response and you want to just sort of say, no, forget it, being proactive about negotiating often gets us to where we need to be, more often than I say not.
Correct.
Right? Okay, so the fifth question that we get a lot that we're going to talk about today is, should I sell my house and then look to buy a new house, or should I look to buy my next house before selling the home that I'm in?
Yeah. So what are you telling your clients right now?
Well, I'm saying it's really market dependent. So in a hot market, you do want to look to try to find your next home before selling the home you're in. And in a cold market, it's the reverse. So the thing about a hot market is that if houses are selling in days or hours, and you put your home on the market, it might sell in days or hours, and in which case, pretty soon you're going to be homeless, right? You're going to be staying in your, friend's basement or having to rent a hotel room or something, and that's not ideal. So you would want to then try to find a home to move into and get in control of that before you look to sell your home. Obviously, in a cold market where there's lots of homes to pick and your home may not sell quickly, you don't want to go ahead and commit to another house that you have to buy, and then you have 2 mortgage payments while you're trying to sell your home in. So I think, and you also pointed on that it's somewhat dependent on people's financial abilities and their timelines. But in an ideal market, if you could potentially afford to negotiate and get a new home under contract and purchased before or in front of selling the home that you're in a hot market, that really makes sense. And that's what I'm telling our clients to do, or to consider doing now. Yeah. Okay, so that covers the top 5 questions that we typically get from potential home sellers who are thinking about putting their homes on the market. But there are a lot of other questions that we get as well, right?
Correct.
So we'll have some more videos rolling out to answer those questions. For now, I'm Greg Kurzner.
Patrick.
And we're with ERA Atlantic Realty. If you want to know more about the Kurzner Group, or you want to talk to us about potentially selling your home, reach out to us. You can reach us at kurznergroup.com, or you can call us or text us at 678-869-9000. And we'd love to talk with you. We'd love to answer any questions you have. We'll come out and look at your home, give you a free and no obligation comparative market analysis, and see if we can get your home sold. So take care, and we'll talk to you soon.